Ladies and gentlemen, my name is TotalBiscuit, and I have been on a holiday from the arena, as it turns out. And I've been dreading going back to this particular draft, because apparently it wasn't very good, and I'm most likely going to lose immediately, and have to draft a new deck. Let's find out. For those of you who don't know, i.e. weren't paying attention, I've been away for a week in New York, doing a gig for Red Bull, called the Red Bull Battlegrounds, which was a StarCraft 2 tournament. That is why there haven't been any videos. I did make people aware of that, but considering the sub-box situation, it's entirely understandable that you might have missed it. So, let's do some Hearthstone, shall we? What a terrible opening hand that is. Well, at least that I can use. The rest of it's going to go away. I think the conclusion that I came to last time is that I made some pretty bad drafting mistakes with this one, and as a direct result, it has not been testing well at all against the people that I've been fighting. So we'll see how it goes. Alright, so I can't do anything. Alright. Never mind. It's going to be several turns before I can even play a creature at this point, so this is not good. I'm going to be reliant on just dealing with whatever creatures he throws out. Thankfully, I've got a Frostbolt in my hand, so pretty much anything he can play right now will die immediately. Yeah, like that. I could just Frostbolt that. No problem. Get rid of it. I have no other choice. I'm certainly not going to let him do 3 damage to me, so I'm just going to Frostbolt the damn thing and then end my turn. So, you know, 1 card for 1 card. Simple as that, really. Last thing I'd want him to do is start to gain momentum with a bunch of beasts. Scavenging Hyena. Rather annoying because I cannot kill it. I still can't kill it. Can I kill it? Actually, yes, I can kill it. It's a tad excessive, though. I probably shouldn't. Is it worth it? Actually, maybe it is. Alright, so... the plan, ladies and gentlemen, goes something like this. Wild Pyromancer. Oh, crap. Did they change the coin for not being a spell anymore? No, they didn't. Good. It's evil. Absolutely evil. There we go. It's a nasty little trick with the Wild Pyromancer. It didn't have spell written on it, actually. But then again, neither does this. So, yeah, the coin is still a spell, so you can actually use it to trigger the Wild Pyromancer, which then gave me enough to get rid of that, which actually leaves me with an advantage. As you can see right here, I'm sitting on 5 cards, but I have something on the board against a hero that doesn't have a hero power that can instantly eliminate something with 1 health, which is pretty strong. So, oh wow, he couldn't do anything. That's really good for me. Well, let's see if we can take advantage of that. So, probably the Ethereal Arcanist at this point. It's really all I can actually play. And I'm just going to whomp him with that. Now, the Ethereal Arcanist is not that great unless you have a secret that will stick around for a while. So I'm kind of taking a risk playing him now because it's a subpar creature, and I'm hoping that I pull something like a Mirror Entity next turn. Tundra Rhino comes out. Okay. That's a bit of a problem because I can't actually kill it. It's the best way to deal with it. I was thinking, is there a way to kill it using that? No, there isn't. Probably the best thing I can do would be to play the Silverhand Knight. Yeah, I can't think of any better way. Play the Silverhand Knight. Not missing anything, am I? No. Play the Silverhand Knight and then do as much damage to him as possible. See what he goes after. The next turn could be really painful because if he plays a beast, well, then I'm going to be in a lot of trouble because that beast's going to have charge. Thankfully, that is not a beast, but it is now a 4/7 with Taunt, which is about as bad. And I don't have a Polymorph right now, so... oh, please do... oh, he's got... wow, why would you... I don't... that's a little strange. So I was expecting him to maybe knock out one of my creatures, but I guess to some degree it does make sense. Alright, what's the best way to handle this? So if I use my Arcane Explosion, I can basically do 2 damage to everything he's got. But that's only going to take that down to 5. It's also, of course, going to kill off my Pyromancer, and I'd prefer to do 3 damage with him instead. So I think we're just going to have to do some sort of wonky trades. Everything that's going to hit that is going to die immediately, so I think we'll lose 2 creatures. It's probably for the best. It's either that or I'll put the Fen Creeper up, but then again, I sit around being able to do nothing, so... alright. So we spend that, and then we spend that. Do the Arcane Explosion. Pop that down there. There we go. And I guess we could trade Or we could do 7 more damage to him. Yeah. Because he is left sort of with the choice of either killing my Arcanist, which could next turn become very scary, or killing my 4/4, which still leaves me with a board advantage. And he's lost a lot of his health, so... Or alternatively, he could do neither of those things and trade out immediately. Secret's up. He's basically trying to rush me. Don't know what that secret is. That's kind of the main problem here. That's a vaporize. That could be... What am I talking about? He's a hunter. It can't be a vaporize. Explosive trap is a possibility. I don't think there's anything that really could be that would screw me over horribly. Just in case that is a freezing trap, I'm actually going to send this at him, because that means I can play him again with another Squire. Let's see what it is. Oh. I mean, I guess there's that. Oh, that's horrible. Misdirection can be really bad. Yes, quite. Alright, well, I think the option here is probably just to fend Creeper up. Do the best I can in that regard. Ping him for damage there. Misdirection. Keep forgetting that that card even exists. I was thinking maybe it's an explosive trap or a freezing trap, but no, misdirection is actually reasonably common. Can't remember just how common. Yeah, it's a rare, so, you know, you can definitely see it in an arena. It's just not amazingly common. Alright, now he's just going to try and beat me down, I think. But this is really good, because I have a Flame Strike, so he's kind of entered a position that's going to hurt him pretty badly. But I will be on fairly low health. 8. Alright, so we can wipe his board pretty easily here. And we can play a Mana Worm before we do it for an extra bonus. There we go. And then we wipe the board. Gives me a 2-3. And I start beating on him. And now it becomes a race, because in theory he should lose here, but it depends. I don't know if he can do 8 damage to me with the cards he's got in his hand. If not, he's probably dead. Ooh, it's close. Because he got one more thing that can do damage. Oh, no! Oh, no, that doesn't kill me. That doesn't kill me. He loses anyway. Probably. Yeah, I think he's just realized he can't kill me with that. Because he only has 1 mana left, which means he can't do Steady Shot. He's just realized, and it's ticking through his brain. He's thinking, what can I do? What can I do? Good question. What can you do? Well, you can't kill me. Yeah. You can kill off my highest damage thing, which is probably the best idea you've got. And that'll still keep him in the game. There you go. Alright. This is pretty good for me. It's very good for me, in fact. Alright, best plays, Arcane Intellect probably for the extra bonus. We probably can't kill him, but we may be able to pull some direct damage, and then we can finish him off. So let's try that. Iron Beak Owl and a Mirror Entity. Okay. I think we're going to have to womp that, get it off the field. We can Mirror Entity. And I think we will also play Dalaran Mage. Smack that. There we go. And then do some damage. Okay. Let's see if he can pull what he needs to kill me. In theory, unless he's got yet more charge nonsense, it's unlikely. Not with those 3 cards. I think I've got him. Yep. Steady Shot. Do you have a way to kill me? Tundra Rhino. Thanks for the free Tundra Rhino. I'm pretty sure you don't have a 3 cost that can kill me now. Even a kill command wouldn't do it. Okay, so you are dead. You're just kind of wasting everybody's time. Alright. Good to know. Good to know. At this point, by the way, it's good to concede. You know, it gets you in a game faster. Simple as that. I think maybe, like, and I think this is something that I've done as well, is that when you get into this really awkward spot, you want to show them what you had in your hand to say, like, look, the draw screwed me kind of thing. I guess that's got something to do with it, but aside from that, if you're just going to play cards like that, you're kind of wasting everybody's time. Not really a big deal, though. It's hardly the ultimate insult, it's just a little bit irritating. Well, at least we've evened out. Alright, well, it would have been embarrassing to go 2-3 on this run, even if this deck is not very good, so... Worst we can go is 50-50 now. So, I can relax. I can not be too embarrassed, even though I think it was a very bad draft on my part. And it was my fault as well. You can claim luck of the draw, you damn well please on drafting, but the fact of the matter is drafting is a skill, and I could have drafted a lot better than that. Alright. I do like to keep the poly in hand, but it's not useful early game, and I'm going first as well, which means that I only have these 3 cards here to start with, and then of course I'll draw an extra. The Flame Strike wasn't that great either, but at least I know I have it. I'm pretty sure I only have 1 Flame Strike in this deck, so that can sit there for a while. And I have early draw potential with Arcane Intellect. All spells! Totally useless. That can suck pretty badly when you're up against a Warlock. Might be rushing you down. Would be nice to get my Arcane Explosion. Nope. Didn't think so. Well, best I can do. For the time being. Let's see what he can play. I've got my Frostbolt, so if he plays anything scary, which you can get on 2 mana, especially as a Warlock. He's not playing anything. Okay. He doesn't have any options yet. He just got what he had out on the field. Oh, come on. Right, well, I think it's going to be Acolyte of Pain. It's better to do that now, because he has less means to get rid of it. If he had something like a 3-2 on the field, then he just kills that, and that's 1 card, and it doesn't really do anything. So it's better to do that now, so that I can start pinging it. And he's just pulling lots of cards, which is fine. Well, it's not fine, he's getting a massive card advantage, but he's pretty much pulled whatever demons he's got. He can't play anything else, unless he's got a Soulfire. With 9 cards, I might actually Soulfire an Acolyte of Pain, but... Alright, well, nothing's currently happening, so we're just going to ping this. It's just a better way. Ah, an Ice Lance as well. That's nice to have. Cool. I'd rather use my Arcane Intellect when this guy's off the field. I'd rather spend mana and no cards to gain cards. Ooh, Pit Lord. Ouch. Right, well, I have a Polymorph, so he's going to cry. Yeah. I'm just going to make him cry now, because he just did 5 damage to himself for no good reason. So, there we go. You is now a sheep, and I'm going to get a card from you too. There we go. Thank you. And if you wish to kill it off, feel free. I'll take the 3rd card. So, that's good. The Pit Lord was actually buffed, which is weird to say because it's actually weaker than it was, but it does less damage to you now, which is pretty important. Ouch, that was a nice little play he just pulled out there. He just got a 4-4 out of that. I might have to use another Polymorph or just a Fireball. If I get rid of that damn thing, it would be fine, but the alternative is I can silence it with the Iron Beak, but that still leaves a creature on the field, so maybe not the best of plays. We'll see what he decides to do with it. What have you got? What do you have for 2 mana? You could have a lot. Awful lot of stuff in there. Voidwalker. Alright. We're probably just going to have to Fireball that ghoul then. You might think it's a little bit inefficient, and you would be kind of right, but the problem is this. I don't have any way to get rid of this damn thing because I haven't pulled my Arcane Explosion. So, as it stands, actually, I can Dalaran Mage Frostbolt it, which is a better idea. That's more efficient. There we go. And that will kill it. Cool. That's much better. So it eliminates it before it gets too strong. I don't have to use my Polymorph on it. I can use a weaker spell. And I can hold on to my Polymorph, my Fireball, which are just outright stronger. You might say, well, there's a freeze component. Yes. Uh-oh. That's scary. But, yeah. It's not that big a deal. I'd rather just kill everything. Ah! Aha! Cool, we have a play to eliminate this little bastard. We have a play to eliminate a lot here, actually, I think. We could kill off 2 creatures here. Alright, here we go. So, Wild Pyromancer. And we are going to Fireball this thing for 7 damage. And then an Explosion is going to wipe it out and kill the Imp. Sweet. Hard to complain about that, really. Cool. That gets rid of one of his more powerful creatures before he can use it on anything like, say, a Hellfire. Oh, another Blood Imp. Wonderful. Well, I do have another AoE. Now, of course, he knows that, so he's going to kill off the one way I actually have to get rid of it. So, sneaky, sneaky. Very sneaky. I would like my Arcane Explosion now, please, because otherwise I'm not getting rid of that Blood Imp anytime soon. Nothing worse than that. Now he's bringing out power creatures. Ascension Shield Master. Nice. Okay. Flame Strike would not kill everything. That's the main problem. because it hits everything at once. You might think, oh, well, it does kill everything with that. It doesn't, because this guy dies at exactly the same time as this guy gets hit. That's the way the game logic works. So you don't kill that first before that and then have it drop 1 health and then die. It doesn't work that way. So we're going to have to taunt here. This really is the only reliable way to deal with this. And I think we'll Arcane Intellect. Probably should have Arcane Intellected first, actually. An Argent Squire. That's an okay thing to have. There we go. Let me just get rid of that. Okay, so Tiger, unless he's got some pretty strong removal, which he might, he's got a lot of cards, he's going to run face first into that taunt, which is going to weaken it, and then we can eliminate it fairly handily. I'm hoping he does that and plays some other creatures, because then I can justify a Flame Strike, which would get his second Blood Imp off the board. I'm in a decent spot right now, but I'm kind of treading water as I wait to be able to gain board control. Oh, that's nasty. It's really nasty. Alright, well... Oh. Jeez. That threw me completely. I can still kill a few things, but... It's this bloody Flame Strike that's going to hurt me a lot. The main problem is I can't do enough damage to get rid of this thing. I can kill 2 creatures right now with it, which is not terrible, but it's not great either. Should I play the Sorcerer's Apprentice? I'll get the spell cheaper. I might just have to Ice Lance that thing, or I could just poly it. If I play the Sorcerer's Apprentice, it'll take me down 7 mana. I can then play the Polymorph for 3, but that will leave me unable to play the Flame Strike. So, Sorcerer's Apprentice, Flame Strike to wipe out most of what he's got. There we go. Weaken things nicely. Ice Lance just to keep you in one spot for a while. I burned a lot of cards to make that happen. I'm not too... definitely not too proud of it. Thinking about next turn killing him off, but... Yeah, let's just do that. Do a little bit of damage to him. Because what I'm hoping next turn is I can just trade the Squire and a Fire Blast to get rid of that, instead of having to use a Polymorph to do it. And since he can't attack this turn unless he's got some charge stuff, the buff from this guy's going to be for nothing. Sitting on 9 cards. I do have some power creatures in my hand. Oh, bollocks, Argent bloody Commander. Oh, come on, a 3rd Blood Imp, really? Alright, well, that screwed my plan over completely. It was a good plan. It was a pretty good plan, but now it's all for nothing. Alright. I am rapidly running out of removal, and he clearly is not running out of creatures. I've got to get rid of that. I can't let it sit around. The only way I have to get rid of it is to poly it. I can't... Even Silence isn't going to work. That's still a 6/3 that could just horribly murder me. So I'm going to have to polymorph it, which I am extremely hateful of. So that's him out of the way. And then it gets buffed by that sodding stealth creature, so I can't even kill it. Mirror Entity or Silverhand Knight? Silverhand Knight is probably the best play here.
Ready, sir.
Okay. Mirror Entity was a bit of a risk in that situation. As much as I'd like to play it, because he probably has some nice creatures he can play this turn, but... better to get stuff on the board. Especially stuff that trades for that Argent Commander. Which, annoyingly enough, is going to be a 2-for-1 regardless of what I do. But at least I do have that Squire. Oh, never mind, I'm getting soul-fired, so that's not happening. So now he trades that for that, and he is left with absolutely fantastic board control. And I do not believe I have... Yeah, I do have AoE, but nothing that would wipe the board. It would get rid of a couple of things. I would like my Arcane Explosion right now, I've got to say. Oh, Summoning Portal, and Murlocs. Alright, filling his side of the board. Yeah, I would really like that Arcane Explosion right now. Oh, well, guess I'm not getting that. Okay. Fen Creeper, Silence the Summoning Portal, and Mirror Entity, probably. I was thinking of Fire Blasting, but I can't actually kill anything with that. So we can silence that. At least prevent any nonsense. I can't actually kill off anything other than the sheep, so we're gonna mirror entity and hope for the best. Despite how scary his side of the board looks, he doesn't have that much power on it yet. Ooh, Siphon Soul. Ouch. Well, things just changed for the worse. My taunt was really all that was going to keep me alive against this lot. And now he can just throw everything he's got at me. I need that Arcane Explosion. I really do. That would have let me eliminate quite a lot of stuff. I should have probably attacked that Argent Commander with the Fire Blast, and then I could have finished him off next turn with it. But such will not be the case by the looks of it. At least I have a decent health buffer, but that's not going to stay up for long. He doesn't have that much power on the field. That is actually kind of going to help. And he just revealed his Blood Imp, which is a little bit of a mistake. So I'm actually kind of surprised he did that. Alright, I think the best play here is Ethereal Arcanist, because that's going to get 2 for 1 minimum. I'm still going to take, what, 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage. But it's not bad. And that's now a 5-5. So he's going to think about eliminating that as quickly as possible. I've also killed off one of his creatures, which means that he could play another one, which will hopefully be a powerful one, and I can steal it. Please be a taunt. Probably won't be. Ouch. Well, that gives me a 4-3. But that now... trade's okay. I mean, most of the stuff he's got on the field is quite weak. He'll probably just try and rush me, because he knows he can't. Maybe not. Okay, so he trades that for that. That's fine. At least that gets his highest damage off the board. And then he's going to trade all his Murlocs. Well, yeah, same difference. So he's actually not left with that much. But I'm still taking some damage, and he still has more cards than I do. Okay, weak creature. Oh dear, that's horrible. I think I've used all my polys now, haven't I? A Boulder Fist Ogre, that's okay. But it certainly doesn't solve the problem right now. I think I'm dead, actually. At least close to it. 7, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm not dead, but I'm very close to it. Okay, we'll get rid of the Murloc, just in case he has a Murloc in his deck that would benefit from it. Yeah. If I don't pull something this turn that can deal with this and turn this around, then I'm definitely dead. I've got to get rid of that Venture Co. mercenary. I mean, he may decide to trade it evenly. Apparently, he's not going to do that. He's going to... Wow, if I don't know if I have another Polymorph in my deck, but if I do, he may have made a horrible mistake by just wiping his own board there. I would have maybe traded the Venture Co. mercenary. Straight up. And then I'll have to play expensive things like Demolishers. But I don't know if I have another Polymorph, and even if I do, this is still pretty dire. That's not going to help at all. Alright, pretty close to dead. I got a bunch of stealth stuff. I guess Ravenholt Assassin is really all I can do right now. Yeah, pretty much is. And the other one, I could have done Stranglethorn Tiger Ethereal Arcanist. I probably should have done that. The risk was that the Demolisher then hits the Arcanist, and then he hits it with the Demolisher and ends up with a better trade. Is there even any point in me hurting any of these things? I don't think so. Might as well just throw it at him. And I'm close to dead. Alright. He's probably going to kill me this turn. That's a yes. Ooh, nasty buffs. Yeah, I'm dead. GG. Alright. Well, it was not a good draft, and I did not play it well. So, I guess that is to be expected. 3-3 is probably better than I deserved. Well, we can of course try again, and we will. We will. I do have enough gold to do it as well, which is always nice, so we don't not have to dip into the bank account. Let's see what's in the pack, shall we? Anything good? Nope. Absolutely nothing. Which, to be fair, is not unexpected these days. I almost have all my legendaries, actually, I think. Am I missing any? Well, I'm missing some of the class-specific ones. I think the only one I'm actually missing is Captain Greenskin. I do have Gelbin Mechatorg. Include Soulbound cards, you will see it. So that is the only one that I'm missing now. I just need Greenskin, and then that is all of the neutral legendaries. But I think I'm missing Alakir, Van Cleef, Velen, Tyrion. And that's about it. Not that I really use those guys anyway. Alright, let's do it again. See what we can find. Shall we? Priest, Hunter, Druid. Haven't done Hunter in a while. Hunter in Arena is a bit dodgy because he's very, very beast dependent. And if you don't get the beasts you need, then it can kind of screw you over. But that should not be a reason for us not to play him. I'm okay with that. Let's give it a shot. Hunter it shall be. Alright. As your Drake, Mind Control Tech, and Bloodsail Corsair. Well, this guy isn't very good in my opinion. He's a 1-2, but with a very limited use battle cry. Mind Control Tech is okay, and Azure Drake, is probably the best card here by a significant margin. Why did the music stop? Hello? Well, never mind. Okay, I guess we're doing this without music. Alright, Azure Drake is the clear choice here. This is pretty good, but this is really good. A Tundra Rhino, Spellbreaker, and a Booty Bay Bodyguard. Well, usually I'd say yes, a Tundra Rhino is great for hunters, which it is, but we don't know if we're getting any beasts, so we're going to take a Spellbreaker instead, because that is always useful. There we go. Voodoo Doctor, Jungle Panther, and Dread Corsair. We don't know if we're going to get any weapons. This I don't really like, because as a turn 1 play, it ends up being useless. That's the annoying thing about it. You can play it a little bit later on, and it gets you a little bit of health back, but if you play it on turn 1, it doesn't do anything. So it ends up just being a weaker version of other things. So we're going to take the Jungle Panther, because not only is it a beast, but it's a good card anyway, with 4-2 stealth. There we go. A Scavenging Hyena, an Earthen Ring Farseer, and a Murloc Raider. We can safely discard the Murloc Raider because 2-1 Murloc with no text is pretty bad unless you're playing a Murloc deck, which you're probably not doing in Arena. Earthen Ring Farseer is okay. I think it's certainly better than the Voodoo Doctor because you play it at a more sensible time when you may have actually taken damage. Problem is, if you haven't taken damage, then that Battlecry is again useless and you get a subpar 3-3. The Scavenging Hyena, again, you need beasts for it, but if you have even one beast die, then this is more than worth it. So there we go. A Frostwolf Grunt, an Oasis Snapjaw, and Ascension Shieldmaster. Snapjaw in an Arena deck for a Hunter is not that bad. Most people don't like this card because it doesn't really kill stuff very easily, but for a Hunter it's pretty good because this guy's a beast, of course. So there's a lot of synergy there. This guy just sucks in general, and I wouldn't get him ever. No, it's true. A 2-2 taunt is not going to help you very much. Ascension Shieldmaster is a really good taunt, so we're going to take him. This is a bit of a generic deck so far, but that's probably for the best, considering we're looking to actually win games. Deadly Shot, Raging Worgen, Frostwolf Grunt. Just told you that he's terrible. He still is. 20 seconds have passed, and I still believe it. Deadly Shot, this can be amazing. This is incredibly good against anyone that plays big, stumpy, scary creatures on their own, because they die immediately, regardless of who they happen to be. This also bypasses things like Divine Shields. Raging Worgen is very, very good, assuming you have a reliable way to enrage it. I do not necessarily have a reliable way to enrage it, and I think in this case we're going to take the Deadly Shot. Ironbeak Owl, Wind Fury Harpy, and Earthen Ring Farseer. Talked about him earlier. Ironbeak Owl is actually really, really good for a Hunter. And not only is it a silence, but it's a beast. So again, there's synergy there. So that's pretty cool. And then you've got Wind Fury Harpy, which is a card that I quite like. It can be pretty good, but usually I have to put it behind a taunt wall. Make sure that she gets the most use out of her. I'm going to take the Owl. Imp Master, Crazed Alchemist, and Mind Control Tech. This is an interesting little set. Imp Master doesn't really synergize too well with Hunters, as far as I can tell. Summons Demons, which obviously doesn't really do much for Hunters. Hunters don't really have a way of properly buffing them. Stuff like Unleash the Hounds only works on beasts, so you can't use any of those kind of techniques. In this case, I think a Crazed Alchemist might be the choice. This guy's pretty cool. He can do a lot. He can not only screw over your opponent's creatures, but he can also swap around health and stats on yours So I think you can get a lot out of this guy. He's a little bit situational, but I don't really think the Imp Master is the best choice in a deck like this. War Golem, Corehound, Loot Hoarder. Now, this guy is a beast, but he is really easy to kill. Way too easy to kill. 9-5 is not a good stat distribution. He doesn't trade well. It's nice to use him with Unleash the Hounds, because that's basically an instant 10 damage to your opponent, assuming they don't have a taunt up. Loot Hoarder, on the other hand, is just pretty good. Costs 1 more mana than your regular 2-1, but the card draw means that usually you kill a creature with it, and you get a card, which puts you ahead. So, I'm going to get that. Knife Juggler, Mana Addict, and Gadgets and Auctioneer. We don't have too many spells, otherwise Mana Addict might be an option. The main problem with Mana Addict is that the buff doesn't sustain itself. So, it's one of those burst damage creatures that doesn't really grow. Gadgets and Auctioneer. Well, so far we don't have that many spells again, so we have 1, which is not that useful. It's still a good creature, though, if you can get a couple more spells out. Knife Juggler is one of my personal favorites. I think it's one of the best 2-cost minions in the game. It does actually, funnily enough, synergize with something like the Imp Master, but, yeah, wasn't really thinking of that. Silverhand Knight, Razorfen Hunter, and Tracking. Razorfen Hunter's okay, because, especially for, again, a hunter deck, because you summon a beast. So if you're lacking a beast, then you need to do a good kill command, for instance, which gives you +2 damage if you have a beast out in the field. Razorfen Hunter can be pretty good. You can also, of course, basically turn it into one of those charging boars as well, if you happen to have one of the rhinos out in the field. Tracking is a weird one. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck, draw 1, discard the others. It can be a bit of a double-edged sword. It's a card for a card, but it's a card that actually lets you be a little bit more specific. It also lets you discard cards that may not be useful in the next 2 turns. It's pretty much the only card in the entire game that lets you do that. Silverhand Knight is just rock solid in general. We don't have a lot of power at the end right now, so Silverhand Knight might be the one that I pick here. There are very few situations where I would say to you, don't get a Silverhand Knight. He's good. He's really good. Sunwalker, Defender of Argus, and Crazed Alchemist. Talked about this guy before. We already have one of them. We've got a decent amount of low end right now. A Sunwalker might not be a bad idea. The main problem we've got with the Sunwalker is that she is a big target for things like Polymorph or any kind of destroy-based removal. Aside from that, she's very difficult to get rid of and generally trades very well. She's essentially a more expensive version of the Yeti with Taunt and Divine Shield, yeah? And these 2 cost basically a mana each to get, so she's okay. Maybe if she was like a 4-6, I'd say she would be incredible, but as she stands, she's pretty good. Defender of Argus, I think, gives you a lot of flexibility. +1/+1, and then the Taunt as well. Means that you get to pick who the Taunts are. So, in certain situations, you can turn this to your advantage in a big way. And since it is a buffing creature, it allows you to get better trades than what you otherwise would. So I think we're going to take one. Starving Buzzard, Leponome, and Dalaran Mage. Okay, this should be a fairly easy choice. I like the Leponome. I think he's one of the better 1-cost creatures because he guarantees 2 damage to the enemy hero at least. At least, yeah. One of the ideal situations is you get him out in turn 1, the opponent can't respond, you then hit him, and then eventually the opponent kills him, maybe trades a creature for him, but you've done like 4 damage to him. So that puts you ahead in terms of health. Dalaran Mage, right now in this deck, is not going to help me. It can be useful for hunters, it really can, but in this case, we're going to ignore it. We're going to take the Starving Buzzard, which is good in a lot of situations. I already have a decent number of beasts. I've got an okay number anyway. Jungle Panther, Ironbeak Owl, Scavenging Hyena, so I can make use of that. Kill Command, Fen Creeper, and Timberwolf. Fen Creeper is one of the better taunts. It's a 3/6, which means that it hits hard enough to usually take things down, and as a result, it trades pretty well. Maybe you can get 2 creatures for 1 with it. Timberwolf is... I mean, the problem I've got with Timberwolf is that if you open with it, you have no beasts, and then he just plays anything that kills it off. And maybe he plays a 1/2 and then just trades and kills it. It can be a problem. It's good to play a little bit later on. It's not a good opening card. It also becomes a prime target because people are really scared of that buff. Kill Command, I think we're going to need that because it is a very powerful direct removal for what it does. If you have a Beast out, it's basically a slightly cheaper, slightly weaker Fireball. If you don't have a Beast out, it's actually not good at all. But you hope that you have a Beast out at this time. Alright, this is a very easy choice. Animal Companion. Every Animal Companion is good for the cost. Every one of them, which means that this is absolutely the right thing to do. So we're going to grab one of those. Ah, another Kill Command. Alright. Well, Timberwolf and South Sea Deckhand, this is not very good, really, for this deck, because for hunters in general, in Arena, because you don't know if you're going to get a weapon. And even if you do, you probably only get one, so you don't get a chance to play this at the right time. I'm going to take a second kill command. Hunter's Mark, Ironbeak Owl, and Spiteful Smith. I like Spiteful Smith a lot. I really, really do. But it does require you, again, to have a weapon, which we don't have. Otherwise, it's got, like, a lot of health, and it hits really hard, so it generally trades well, and what you do is you trade with it, and you usually don't lose it, because it's got 6 health, so it kills a creature, and then you've got an enraged weapon, which just does great things. Hunter's Mark and then another Ironbeak. I like the idea of having 3 silence, especially since there's yet another beast. Hunter's Mark is okay. Some people really don't like it, but you can do a lot with it. The main problem is that unless you're using maybe some kind of AoE spell in combination with it, you're usually using more cards to kill a creature than what it's actually worth. And ideally, you want to be either trading 1 for 1 at worst, or forcing him to lose 2 cards for 1 or more. And Hunter's Mark isn't conducive to that. I'm going to take that Ironbeak. A Tundra Rhino, a Direwolf Alpha, and a South Sea Deckhand. Well, beast-wise, we might find a use for this. We don't have a huge number of beasts yet, but we have a decent number of beasts. Direwolf Alpha is really good, but our 2s are looking okay right now. In fact, they're looking very okay. So, let's take the Rhino. Flesh Eating Ghoul, Silverhand Knight, Lord of the Arena. This one's always a weird one, because they're fairly easy to take down, and often you generally don't want your taunts to be killed that quickly, but it also trades with a very strong creature in order to do it, so it's not too bad. But I think the Silverhand Knight is a better one. This is okay, particularly with Scavenging Hyena, because you're going to get these kind of double buffs going on, which is okay. But I think we'll take a second Silverhand. Ah. Ooh, that's a weird one. Okay, so Bestial Wrath is not something that I really use, like, ever. It makes a beast immune and gives it +2 attack. So you can attack with the beast, hopefully kill something, and it encourages a really nice trade most of the time. The problem is you spend a card to get that trade. So sometimes it's okay, but it is kind of situational. You want to kill something really strong? Well, you better have a strong beast already, because +2 attack isn't going to make that great. Snake Trap is... I don't like it. I really don't. There are some situations where it's really good. You combo Snake Trap with Starving Buzzard. That's 3 cards you just got. But it, again, is difficult to do. You probably don't have the Starving Buzzard out at the same time that you can use the Snake Trap. Also, if you've got some kind of buff, snakes can of course be buffed by Unleash the Hounds or something like that. But even then, it's a bit difficult to justify it. Sea Giant, again, that's okay, but I don't really have the creatures to support it. This is the kind of thing that an Imp Master helps out with a lot, because you need to get a lot of minions on the field, and I don't really have the ability to do that. So this is a very weird decision. I think just because you don't see it very often, and because we might be able to pull off the Buzzard combo with it, we're going to take a Snake Trap. Alright, Murloc Raider, Magma Rager, Archmage. Very easy choice. This is terrible. The reason it's terrible is because it dies too easily. It sounds great. Ooh, 5 attack for 3 mana. That's amazing. Yeah, but it dies too easily. It gets fire blasted by a mage and killed immediately. It gets traded with a 1/1 sheep and get killed immediately. And we've talked about the Raider before, so the Archmage. Not necessarily useful in this deck, but it's a 4/7, which is a really awkward number, and it tends to swing pretty hard, so... Alright, I think I'm going to take the Fen Creeper here, because we are lacking a little bit in taunt. We already have 2 Silverhand Knights, so let's get a bit of variety in this thing. Raging Worgen, Unleash the Hounds, Ogre Magi. Well, this guy is not going to help us too much, because we don't actually have anything that is buffed by spell damage, so we can ignore the spell damage creature. Raging Worgen is okay, Unleash the Hounds can be pretty good too. I'm kind of tempted to take Unleash the Hounds, because again, it can combo quite nicely with the Snake Trap. It will basically give me 3 2/1s with charge. Yeah, let's do that. Tauren Warrior, South Sea Deckhand, Fen Creeper. We're going to take a Fen Creeper. The Tauren Warriors, it's a bit wonky. Unless you have a way of triggering this in Rage, like you're a warrior or you are a mage, then you probably don't want to grab this. There we go. A multi-shot. Unfortunately, it's giving me a multi-shot on an Ooze. Usually I take the Ooze here, but I am lacking in this direct removal, and a multi-shot is a really good choice, so... I have a Priestess of Elune, which I just hate. I'm sorry, but a 6 mana with 4 health No. Okay. Maybe a second Tundra Rhino here? We're taking a lot of 5s, which I don't really like, but... Actually, it's not that bad. I mean, once you get to 10, that means you can play 2 of these each turn. It's not too bad. Ah, an Explosive Trap. Very nice. The Shattered Sun Cleric is a really good minion. Very good minion, but I think we're going to take the Trap here. And we've talked about her. She's not very good, so let's take that Trap. Another Starving Buzzard. Excellent. Good. Good, good, good. We'll take that immediately. Another Kill Command. That's pretty good, too. Having that much direct removal is really good. And a Savannah Highmane to finish us off. I am liking this. Only, we can't play anything on turn 1 whatsoever, so I've kind of got to hope we go second with this deck to get maximum power out of it, but what a finisher this would be. Alright, so my turn 2 is amazing. My turn 1 is useless, but hey, I don't think that's too bad. Let's see if I was right. I've got a decent number of beasts to make this work. 3 kill commands, and that weird snake trap combo. Man, if I can pull off something fancy with the snake trap, that's going to be really interesting. Plus, in Arena, people don't expect the snake trap because it's very rare. Alright. A Starving Buzzard and a Highmane. Alright, we're going to toss the Highmane. I'm going to toss everything other than the Buzzard, basically. We need lower cost creatures. Another Buzzard, an Owl, and a Snake Trap. Could it be any better? We have the Starving Buzzard Snake Trap combo, which is really cool. We could make this work. Alright, this is about to get really fun. So, what we're going to do is we're going to Coin Trap, because this only triggers on a minion. Then we're going to turn 2 Starving Buzzard. This is going to guarantee me 3 cards. Assuming that I've read this correctly. Unless he does direct removal to kill the Starving Buzzard. But I do have a second one, so it's not too bad. Alright. Cool. This is a really weird way of doing things. But it should work. Cool. So, what she should do here is attack the Buzzard. That should summon the snakes. Should trigger that 3 times before it dies and give me 3 cards and a card advantage. But she's going to ignore me. Alright, cool. More beasts! Great! Alright, we can make that work. That's kind of neat. I'm thinking of kill commanding here, but we could just... We could Iron Beak. We could do a second Buzzard, but the second Buzzard dies if we do that. So wasting the Buzzard doesn't seem optimal. I'm thinking Iron Beak to get a card. That probably... what's the best way to do this? I could just kill command. That gets rid of this guy. I don't know where to go from here, actually. Let's Iron Beak. There we go. That gets me a card. She's got to attack me next turn. And then what I can do is I can use the Starving Buzzard to get rid of that. There we go. So we don't get any wonky stuff going on. So I should get a bunch of cards out of this. It depends. There might be some weird scenario where that doesn't happen, but I really want this to work. Ooh, that's a raid leader buff. Alright. Kill the Buzzard. You know you want to. Why aren't you killing the Buzzard? What is this? How could you possibly know that that's a snake trap? Like, there's no way. Alright. I'm gonna force them into it. That's how it's gonna be? Alright. You made me do this. You don't have a choice. If you do direct removal now and keep attacking me, oh, that would be infuriating. Come on, I got this perfect combo that I was talking about in theory earlier that was very unlikely. Don't you dare have any way of dealing with this. Alright, cool.
Ready, sir.
The snake trap combo will commence. Come on, attack me. Don't you dare not attack me. Attack me. Hit me. I want my snakes, damn it. Give me my bloody snakes. Yes, the snake trap combo. Excellent. 3 cards. Yes. Hey, isn't that a cool combination? That's neat. I like that.
Thanks.
All right. Now we're actually going to have to, you know, deal with them. I'd rather get rid of my buzzard. You don't want me having any more cards. There we go. Alright, well, we have a card advantage. We also have a very, very pesky Fen Creeper. But I'm thinking of kill commanding this fellow. Getting him out of the way. That still does leave us with a few problems, though. We could go Knife Juggler Buzzard, but that wouldn't help. Kill commanding the 5/4 is probably good. It still leaves us with this guy, but we can get rid of him easily. So, yeah. Let's get this board a little clearer. Alright. We trade a snake. There we go. We trade another snake. Even better. And we trade this fellow. Very nice. Now, I would love to play the buzzard, but he will just kill it. So I'm not going to do that. Yeah, it was pretty good. It leaves me with a significant card advantage and not too much of a health deficit. The Squire's still going to be a bit of a pain, but next time I can play the Fen Creeper and that ceases to be a problem. Then I could start to stack things behind it for a while. I'm just so happy that snake combo worked. I thought that would be pretty good. I've never actually used that combination before, but it was pretty effective. Alright, Shield Bearer. Not the best creature ever. A little annoying, but little more than that. Plus it can spell break it. And then it's actually useless. Completely useless. Spell breaking it might not be the worst of ideas, but I need to think about what I'm doing this turn. I think it's going to have to be Fen Creeper. I've got a multi-shot. Do I really want to use that on the creatures he currently has? I mean, I kind of do, actually. I'm not averse to doing that at all. It's getting that stuff out of the way. I have a good amount of removal. If I use the multi-shot, that means I can play either the Buzzard or the Knife Juggler. I think the Knife Juggler is the better bet. No, it's not, because next turn I probably have High Mane or Tundra Rhino as a play. So we are going to do that. We're going to sacrifice our remaining snake. And then we will multi-shot to remove what he has on the board. Cool. Still a board and card advantage, although a health deficit, so we need to watch out for that. Thankfully, this is not a mage that can start nuking me down with Pyroblasts, so it's not too big a problem. Let's see what he's got. If he isn't able to get rid of my Buzzard next turn, then I can play my Tundra Rhino. He obviously doesn't have too many great choices. Let's see what he's got. Iron Fur Grizzly. Alright, that's not going to help you too much. Good. So, I am thinking... Yeah. What do I want to play? We have an Animal Companion, which could be really, really good. But it's a little bit of a gamble, because we don't know what it's going to be. I'm thinking Tundra Rhino is still the best play here. If I'm going to play it, though, I want to play it with the knife out first. So, we're going to do Knife Juggler. We're going to play Tundra Rhino. Tundra Rhino also has charge, by the way, because it is a beast. So, that throws a knife. Very good. And then we trade the snake. And this Tundra Rhino to clear the board. Leaving us with a significant advantage. Very cool. Definitely, he's not out yet. A single Hellfire would wipe the board in his favor. You know, I've noticed a lot of Warlocks don't like to take Hellfire, because it does damage to, like, everything. Which is true. But in a scenario like this, it's really, really good. You might have a Twisting Nether, who knows? Unlikely, it's an epic, I believe, but... Plus, a lot of people don't take Twisting Nether. Motion Warden, alright. Not too strong, but a Shadow Bolt to wipe out my Knife Juggler. I've told you, everyone hates Knife Jugglers. Like, he preferred to wipe out my Knife Juggler and get rid of this guy, which was, in my opinion, a critical mistake on his part. And we're going to show him exactly why. With a Savannah Highmane. Yes, indeed. A charging Savannah Highmane, just to make matters even worse. And it's going to pull us another card, which is fantastic. Cool. And, well, I mean, we already have a pretty good card advantage, so I'll take the risk of giving him a little bit more damage. And we're going to smash him down. There's his taunt out of the way. We're in a pretty good spot right now. I'm liking our position. Hard to really argue. I think he's probably done for. I mean, it depends. Maybe you get some amazing plays next turn, but I have so many good options in my hand. Like, 2 taunts, couple of possible charges, high-end creatures, a silence... Card draw, spell damage, you name it. You name it. We are in a good place. I wonder what he has in mind. This guy is such a bastard as well. It's like, you kill him, he gets 2/2 hyenas. He's just such a powerful creature. So silly. Ah, Sunwalker. I'd like my deadly shot now, please. Never mind. It's fine. We can silence the Sunwalker, and we will. Again, you usually don't silence a taunt, but in this case, you make the exception. I think then we put the taunt up and then just go for the win at that point. There we go. So there's the Fen Creeper out. Cool. Yeah, it's probably the best way. Could still kind of go wrong, but at this point, I just want to force him all the way down. The thing about being a hunter is you can get him kind of in this sort of range, you can start to ping him with the steady shots, so things work pretty well. Thank you for the cards. He, of course, needed them more, so that was a good play at this stage for him. Things are pretty desperate. If he gets a Shadow Bolt, he can get this out of the way, and then he can start knocking over my creatures, but I still kill him anyway, so he's going to need a powerful taunt or a complete board wipe. And even then, he might still lose. Let's see what he's got. Mad Bomber! That's about... Well, it wasn't the best he could have got. He could have killed my Rhino as well, but that was pretty good for him. I think he still loses at this point. Yeah, I don't see him wiping this board. Not right now. If he could have, he would have done it already. Hellfire would do pretty well here. But even then, he probably still loses, so... Cool, I think this was a pretty good start. Maybe I'm counting my chickens before they hatch, but... With 4 cards left in his hand and 5 mana and nothing that can really kill this high main, I think he's done for. Anytime now. Played out about as well as could have been expected, really. It would have been nice to get the cards earlier, but he kind of refused to attack. So I guess it is what it is. Come on. Oh, now he's hellfiring. Okay. Lol. Yeah. No. No. It was an interesting decision, but yeah, I think he realized he was dead by that point, so never mind. Alright, let's try and get one more game done before we wrap this episode up, shall we? It seems reasonable. This deck's pretty good so far, but hard to assess after just one game. I think it does have a lot of options in the early game. It's got a lot of removal, and it's got a decent amount of synergy. Not as much as like a pure beast deck would be in it constructed, but enough synergy to make it worthwhile, while still having good creatures to play, which I think is a good sign when it comes to an arena draft. Alright, who we got? Shaman. Okay. Shaman can be quite nasty. That's okay. I think we'll toss the kill command. Shouldn't need it too early. That's much better. There we go. It does mean I don't do anything on turn 1, but it happens. So we go turn 2 Starving Buzzard, turn 3 Animal Companion. That's the plan. It just depends what he's able to play. We might not play the Buzzard if he's able to play, say, a 2-1. Ah, I can't play anything. Great. Good news. Aha, the combo again. Sweet. I think we'll do the combo then. Same as before. Snake Trap. And then Starving Buzzard. I can't believe it's given me the combo twice in a row. That's really cool. That's something I should try in a Constructed Hunter deck, actually. I hadn't thought about that before today, that could really work well. Alright. What you got? Coin. 3-cost creature coming out. Unbound Elemental. Alright. That's fine. Can't kill it. Probably gonna lose a creature to it. Might play Animal Companion. No, what am I thinking? Why would I do that? Play the combo. You're gonna lose the Buzzard. It doesn't matter. I could unleash the Hounds to do 3 damage here. No. No, I'm fine holding on to that. Thank you very much. Cards, cards, cards. Here we go. And then the cool thing about this combo as well is whatever killed that probably gets killed by the snakes. So, it's not too bad. Sweet. Card advantage. Uh-oh. That's not dying to the snakes. He just played that, which is terrible. Alright. I think multi-shot. Yep, we multi-shot, and then we use the snakes to kill the rest, and then that resets the board. Or we could unleash the hounds, which is a terrible idea. So let's not do that, because these are all 3 health each, which means that the trades end up being terrible, so... Multi-shot it is. It's either an animal companion and risk not getting the right one. Yeah! Best possible result. It was likely to happen. And then we just trade the snakes. And that leaves him with an overload and a card... Yeah, try again. Card disadvantage. So there you go. So we can only play a 2 mana this turn. I could play a Silverhand Knight next turn. Or I could play an Azure Drake, which actually wouldn't be too bad either. Oh, that's not going to help you. I'm thinking the Drake. Get me another card. Get me some spell damage. Not that that's really going to help me too much. I just use my multi-shot. Maybe we just play the Knight. Okay, let's play the Knight. I don't really need the extra card right now. I can play it later. It's like either that... Do I need the spell damage immediately? No. So part of that coin cost... Coin? What? Try again. Part of that points cost doesn't make any sense. Do I need another card? Not really. I already have a card advantage, so... It's okay. Playing another totem. So he's only got 3 mana cost hard. Ah, yes. One of those sneaky things to do. Oh, that's not too bad. I can very easily knock that totem out. Or maybe not. Thought I could knock that totem out. I think we could spell break it. Yeah. Yeah. Or we could just owl it. Hell, why waste the spellbreaker? Screw that. Owl the bastard. And then play an animal companion. Yep. There we go. So that owled, and then we shall animal companion. I'm half tempted to unleash the hounds, actually. Yeah. Yeah, I should unleash the hounds. I can wipe his board clean. Let's do it. Alright, so Unleash the Hounds is going to let me get rid of everything he's got while taking no damage. And you might think, well, why are you getting rid of the 0-3? Because it might not end up being a 0-3. You could give it Rock Biter. I don't want him able to give anything on his board Rock Biter right now. Or any other buff, come to think of it. Like, you can Bloodlust in those situations. Like, it's not good to leave it be. I've died to stuff that I've silenced before. So, there you go. And Unleash the Hounds means I have a very powerful board right now. And if I put a Fen Creeper up, yeah, he's in a lot of trouble. Let's see if he's got something like a Lightning Storm. Forked Lightning might kill 2 of my creatures, maybe. Assuming he hasn't. Lightning Storm would kill 2 of my creatures as well. It wouldn't kill all of them. What's he got? Fire Elemental. Nice play. Still gonna beat the snot out of him, but it's still a pretty good play. Because I'm gonna lose 2 creatures to that Fire Elemental. Don't have any more buffs. I could go for an Azure Drake and hope to get something that would help here, but I don't think there's anything I have that would. Spellbreaker won't help at all. I think we maybe just have to buy time. Fen Creeper, it's still a 2 for 1. But it does mean my Leok stays alive. Alright, Fen Creeper and Loot Hoarder. Then ignore his Fire Elemental. Force him to run his Fire Elemental into that. And then try and get rid of him with something else. Probably the Loot Hoarder. Because that gives me some cards. I'm going to need to play this as your Drake as well. Because now I've been playing a lot of cards. He has a slight lead. I think still, it's okay. I'm still in a decent spot, but I was just in that awkward position where I couldn't actually kill the Fire Elemental outright without using 2 cards to do it, so I don't want to throw away the Leok, considering that then buffs the Fen Creeper there, so that would be down to 1, which makes it more likely that I can kill it off. He might still have a Lightning Storm. Okay. Scarlet Crusader. Ooh, that's ugly. That's really ugly. Really ugly. Ah, a kill command. Nice. Well, I can use that to get rid of that, and I don't have to worry too much. This is still a problem. I'm thinking about silencing it. I absolutely will silence it. And then I'll knock it over with this. Or should I? The other alternative is Fen Creeper. Which I will then lose. Well, first things first, this dies. That's a guarantee. That's going to die immediately. Okay. I think... Yeah. Yeah. We can make this work. So, we'll silence that. That takes that down to a 3-1. Yeah? So, then what we can do... Can we get a trade without losing anything? No, we've got too many weak creatures. So, we'll use the Loot Hoarder to kill this off. There we go. We then use Leok to take him down while still staying alive. And then we hit that. That leaves us with a pretty good board. Unless, of course, he pulls AoE. Lightning Storm would kill everything I have, but... There are risks that have to be taken, and plus, he's down to 19 health, so I'm still in a pretty good spot. Let's see what he's got. Feral Spirits. Alright. Keeps pulling those nasty taunts out. Frost of Warlord, that's a 6-6. That's pretty nasty. Alright. This is actually really nasty. Fen Creeper, maybe? I do have that one Iron Beak. That would take that down to a 4-4. But I'm thinking about getting rid of all of this stuff without losing too much to make that happen. Can I then kill this off without losing it? No. I can't. If I attack this, I'm going to lose everything. But he is also going to lose everything. Let's Azure Drake to get another card. If I'm going to lose everything, I just want to lose it in the most efficient way. With a Scavenging Hyena, for instance, which is going to get me cards. Cool. Alright. Sorry, guys. Sacrifices are needed. So, we're going to silence you down to a 4-4. Gonna make sure we attack in the right order here. Yep. Dead. 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 Board advantage. That, I think, was my last silence, so hopefully he's got no more nonsense, because I have no way to deal with it now. He's got more nonsense. God damn it. Oh. Oh, very nice. Well, I guess I can get away with that. He's gonna hate me now. Direct. Buff. Kill. Fen Creeper to protect. Blat, blat, blat. You're in trouble now, boy. You are in trouble now. I actually haven't taken any damage. I didn't realize this. I've played this about as well as I could have. I think he's toast. Flawless victory. This deck has a little bit of motion to it, I gotta say. It's got legs. Knows how to use them. We'll see how it does next time.